Fighting God!
Oh my god. Stop it.
Yo! You already know what it is. You already know the scenario, bruh. You already know what's going on, bruh. You already know. You know what we're here for. You know why we've gathered, bruh. I don't even gotta explain nothing, bruh. I don't even gotta drop no info, no panels, and no links, bruh. We're here for the truth, bruh. A meeting.
The fact that we were just talking about Fighting Gold, and it took me a good 20 seconds to realize you were singing Fighting Gold. Says it all.
That thing, bruh. Yo, there's a lot of around black sperm. Why? This man is showing up, but it's not just black sperm. Make this clear. It seems like we have a whole grouping, a whole team, an entire assortment of just badassery, bruh. All kinds of stuff we've been looking for, that we've been anticipating for a very, very, very long time. So without further ado, we're here to discuss One Punch Man Chapter 148. It's like last time and the time before that, the boys are here. How y'all feel about it?
You know what I'm saying? 24 karat, shining, Cuban link, black sperm, you know what I'm saying? Doing this thing in this. I can't lie though. I'm gonna just start the podcast by being honest. I already knew about this form. I didn't know how it looked, but I was aware of its presence because people spoiled me on this on 3 different occasions. So it was like, it wasn't even just like one incident. So it's just a matter of me seeing how it looked. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much my opening thoughts.
Yeah, Bang's a cool guy, proper cool old man. It's weird that Bang versus Garou was the moment we've all been waiting for. Yet Black Spurb just stole it at the end, like completely. Everyone's like, Bang versus Garou. This is gonna be the fight we went, and then out of nowhere, no, swordsmen are dead. Oh no, what a shame. There's science or portal magic. It's like there was like reveal after reveal in this chapter, and I think that's what. So it just keeps you on your toes. So you got Bang versus Garou. All of a sudden, swordsmen are dead. All of a sudden, there's like legendary blades that we didn't know about, and apparently they're going to be like super important, I guess. Like all of a sudden, Nichiri taught Atomic, and then all of a sudden, a Black Spurb combined is just smacking about pure ugly. It's a good chapter.
Oh, apparently, and this is for the viewers, pay attention. That was a mistake. So in the translation, or in the process of translating, the individuals who we utilize, which is the Reddit community, they accidentally translated that Nichiren was Atomic Samurai's master. When in the reality, and it's been fixed now, is that Nichiren has seen Atomic grow as a master. What was the appropriate dialogue there?
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I that's cool. Because before that, it made like perfect sense to me. I was like, oh my god, that's why their attacks are so similar. But
yep, that's what I thought too. But the Vib notified me that the translator said that they had a mistake there, and that's the I think it's our job to try and spread that because I don't think that many people know about it.
Yeah, I thought something was off about that just because the way Atomic and Nichiren talk to each other, they talk to each other as equals, and maybe it could have just been a result of like Atomic graduating in this hypothetical scenario, moving past the student and master relationship, but it just seemed weird to me because they talk to each other as equals. They don't talk like master and student,
or even past master and student.
it could be that like there's a bit of an age gap. Like maybe he knew Atomic's master or something.
There's definitely some context there.
I have to say,
Sundown.
Yeah, the swordsman gave me mad flashbacks of the Vizards from Bleach. You know, came in looking sick as shit, and then they got clapped by not even the main the main threat at this point. So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. I'm not salty about that, kind of am. But then Golden Sperm, I'll be honest, I've known about kind of the title of Golden Sperm, but I was never sure what it was, whether it was like a new form, whether it was like a fusion, considering what we saw of Pure Ugly as well, or whether it was just the fan base being a bit weird with their naming or something. I thought it was a meme. So I'm really happy it's an actual form. I'm really happy we actually got to see it. And I was kind of surprised by how it looks like. We'll get into that later on. And then the whole Bang stuff with Garou, that was cool. And him being surprised by how much Garou's evolved as well was nice to see. But yeah, really enjoyed this chapter.
This chapter was definitely. I think I agree with bits and parts of everybody's assessment, especially Matt's. That like it almost seemed as if like the thunder of the Bang and Garou fight was taken by by Golden Sperm and the rest of the events in the chapter. Not to say that they were like necessarily just overshadowing it, but they definitely held their own, and it made the chapter more varied instead of just hype about one thing. There's a lot of things to give context to pay attention to. So we'll be doing that today in the stream. Before we continue though, make sure that you guys like the video and subscribe. It's the only way that we can actually grow the channel and get a bigger audience, a bigger community, and share our thoughts and our opinions with a larger multitude of individuals. If you want to actually do that, talk to us, give us your opinions about this chapter, previous chapters, check out the link in the description for the Discord. It's where we communicate all the time. There's a bunch of different text channels, and it's free. If you guys want to support and follow all the rest of these channels for the rest of the guys, they also do a variety of content, not just One Punch Man. So if you watch all kinds of different anime, if you're into the anime season, if you're into other different mangas, check out the channels of everybody else linked in the description below. Matt, Sundown, and Satsuki do great content, and they upload content daily, like 2 times an hour. So just stay tuned; you get all the content that you need.
I thought it was too nice.
Hey, even us combined don't have a rate like that.
You're right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Grimm. We can't match up to your 2-hour upload schedule.
Get out of here, bro. Know? Upload like once every 3 years, bro. All right. Oh shit. All right. Without further ado, let's get into the greatness, man. So, in the previous chapter, we saw Bomb take on Garou. We saw a bunch of other things too, including Darkshine getting his bones exposed by the new addition of Vomited to Fear. We also got to see Zanbai die. Those plot points were continued in this chapter, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more to take away from the Bang fight than the Bomb fight. So I guess to start us off, what are your opinions about the Bang fight, Bang versus Garou? Overall thoughts?
It's a good fight. It's what I expect, but this chapter was just the beginnings of it. It's just a preview of what I expect to be like one of the best fights in the series, just because of the story between these two characters, master and student. What this fight means to both of these characters, not to Garou right now, just because he's still in this feral unconscious state, but we know how Bang feels about this specifically, and I think within this fight Garou's gonna actually like wake up in it, because then if he doesn't, I think the fight will kind of lose its luster, just because I feel like it has to be that internal dialogue of Garou going like, yo, this is my master I'm fighting, I gotta go hard, or whatever it takes. But the actual fighting was pretty well done. Garou's just a beast. like he's just too much of a beast, man. That's all I'll say for now.
Yeah, I expect this one to be like more of an emotional fight than we normally get. I mean, just from like the cover more than anything, we just got Bang and Garou posing together. I was like, this is going to be sad in some way. I think Bang's just going to end up with a broken heart by the end of this. Yes, fight itself was very good. I was really happy with Bang. Really, like, we get to see like he's got a technique where he could just go all out. Like, I guess kind of like in his pride for what he's saying. but even without that, like just how well he handled himself, because of how much of a beast Garou is now, we know like even after just getting like tossed around a bit by Garou, he just gets up like nothing, like shakes the dust, like shakes the rubble out his hair, and is like, oh, okay, you're just a real pain in the ass now. You're more of a pain than you were. It's just a fight that's beginning. Like neither of these two have really started. Like they're both going all out, but it's just begun. And I hope we get to. I want to see this sooner, but I don't think we will.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the fight. Thought it was good. I liked the artwork, the combination, how it flowed. I thought it was the important part really for me, or the things that stood out were some elements of the dialogue. So I think one of the first things that Bang says is something along the lines of, I'm gonna awaken you to your senses or something like that, which suggests that this isn't a kill or be killed. Well, it's kind of a kill or be killed situation for Bang, but it's not like I don't think he's actively going out there to put down Garou. It looks like once again, I think you mentioned it at the beginning of this Grimm, it looks like he's trying to wake him up rather than actively exterminate him. And then there was another bit where I think it was Bomb makes mention of, oh my god, like I can't believe that Garou can keep up with a full power Bang. And I think we were under the idea or the concept that maybe Bomb was more powerful than Bang. And it just from that a bit of dialogue, it doesn't seem like he is. That's not how I felt seeing Bomb's reaction to Garou keeping up with Bang. So I'm not sure exactly what to tell you from that, but it looks like at least Bang in this form should be more powerful than Bomb.
I want to disagree on that point. So yesterday I did a reread before the review with a bunch of the guys in the Discord, and in 146, which is the chapter right before this, right before 147, where Garou actually shows up to he shows up in 146, but the fight happens in 147 up against Bomb, and right in 146 we see Fubuki and Bomb actually save Tank Top Master or help heal him. The dialogue read, I think we can get to it right here actually. The dialogue read more context of Bomb literally declaring that, hey, well, let me just read it verbatim instead of just like walking around what the exact thing is. Because the context was that Bomb literally said that he's exhausted, he was going to give up some of his power, and then as he said that, moments after he said that, Garou arrives. So it kind of gives us, it was almost as if like cheap story plot that he's gonna hold back Bomb on purpose. And I'll read the context here, the dialogue, so that you guys can tell me if you agree or not on that analysis. So the dialogue for Bomb and Tatsumaki reads as follows. Sorry about the wait. I'm having a little trouble.
Did we not even, I feel we discussed this point in the last podcast as well, and our kind of what we came to the conclusion of was that we shouldn't be using that as an excuse for Bomb to be kind of, well, he didn't really fail, but for his loss.
Could you please reiterate? Because I think I've changed my mind, but I'd like to see what we previously agreed upon. If it's, I can still assert it.
Yeah. So if Matt or Satsuki, if you guys remember, that's pretty much all I remember was that we had the conversation, and it was somewhere around the lines of, that did happen, but we didn't want to see that as kind of the main reason for why Bomb lost in that situation. We didn't want to kind of use it as a cop-out.
Yeah, because our whole point was, or we kind of reacted to the chat of people saying that Bomb was nerfed and whatnot, and the whole point was that's like at the end of the day, Bomb kind of lost that confrontation, and it's like, while you can say he's nerfed, I don't think it's to that degree that it's going to be that significant. And then what I drew from like what we were going to get during that time of the prospect of Garou versus Bang, I was like, we kind of had to throw Bomb being stronger out the window than Bang because of the stakes and the emotions within this fight. We see fighters get stronger based on who they're fighting, like what situation it is, and considering that this is his student, I expected him to look way better than Bomb.
I think Okay, so I think it is fair. I thought like for a second we were just regressing and talking about what we did last podcast, but no, this is fair to discuss because we just got the bang fight this chapter. So we are gonna have. It is fair to throw in some different information into this question now. So Satsuki put it out clearly, right? He said that now we should really think about whether we should really consider the fact that it was said that Bomb was stronger than Bang, right? We have Bomb literally saying that is he getting stronger? Did he get stronger again mid fight? So in the previous podcast, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I mentioned that it looks like Garou actually got stronger while he was fighting Bomb. As I explained in the review, the only time that Garou encountered Bomb or encountered the Whirlwind was in the EC scenario. And from that instance, we saw him use the Whirlwind multiple times, whether it was to beat Royal Ripper or whether it was in the fight with Rover. We've seen him implement the Whirlwind, so that gives us a reason as to why he would be able to match or cancel out a master after seeing it for the second time, which is let's not like mince words here. That's like arguably one of the best feats in the series that we have, to be able to look at, glance at, not even fight and combat. Look at an individual and successfully copy that style and implement it effectively enough that you can train to the point to where when you see them again, you're matching them, almost the exactitude of skill. A person who's S-class, it's just not like you saw how Rider pedals his bike fast, and now you can pedal your bike fast too. No, this is a nigga that rivals Bang. The offense of the association, the current offense of the association, the strongest leading force, Bang, Atomic Samurai, Darkshine, that's really it on the surface because everybody else is taken out. He's a guy on their par. And Garou just saw his ability and learned it like nothing. And now we get here in this chapter in 147 where Bomb says it again. That he gets stronger as Bang is fighting him. So like I don't know exactly how to piece these together, but that has to be valid information. The fact that Garou is most likely probably gained or grew in strength in the Bomb fight, is growing in strength during the Bang fight, and Bomb before the fight was exhausted or literally gave his power away. I don't think it's fair right now to like just say that Bomb just lost that or that like we don't know how tired he was, so we just shouldn't incorporate it. Like he was on the ground, he's literally sitting on the ground panting like like he definitely gave us some power to do that. And thinking about it, as I was previously, I think my argument hinges on whether we give Bomb hype because he got up so fast to fight Garou after just having to expend that much power, or that's a feat for him, that he's tenacious and he'll keep going even when he's down on power, or whether that really means that he didn't give up that much power to save Tank Top. I don't know if I rambled on too much, but
All right, good. Oh, what my whole thing with the Bomb and my whole thing with it is when it comes to that fight, while there are different factors in it, I think ultimately Garou would have won that confrontation had they like, because the thing is, it didn't really conclude. I mean, because Bomb isn't dead or anything like that. He hasn't been defeated to where he can't move. It's just that he won that confrontation, I believe. Now, there were different factors in it, but I think ultimately the factors, like what it actually meant in a fight, is just how long he could keep up. I don't think like what has gone on with him has affected his strength to such a degree that, you know, he can't beat, you know, if it wasn't for those factors, he would just like, you know, stomp all over Garou or something like that.
That's what you're saying. You're saying that his stats aren't affected, it's his stamina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good way to break it down. The only problem, like, I would agree with that. Don't get me wrong. I agree with that. He proved that shit. What you just said, he proved it, bitch. You went hand to hand with Garou. A nigga who we just saw beating on Darkshine, bitch. A nigga who we just saw doing that thing to niggas, but he's going hand to hand with the nigga after expending all that energy. I agree that it's a plausible explanation, even a likely explanation, to say that none of his stats were affected. It was just stamina. But the fact that we don't know how much energy he lost, I think, is what allows me to be able to just be like, but I want to use this example or this scenario or this excuse instead. Like, I think the nigga's just super cock diesel. He has so much gas in the tank that he could give you like a quarter, and then still his whatchamacallit, 3/4 that he has left is still like Darkshine fighting the whole day. Like, I'm not putting it past these two demons out here, these two motherfucking just catastrophes to have it in them to go hard. Like, this is, we'll go to it in a second about the awakening breath or whatever. But this is full power Bang. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to just disregard a statement that clearly says he wasn't at full power. But hey,
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah. So there was a lot more to the Garou fight. Like, is there anything else that you guys noticed in between, like the little combat hits or like little stances in between? Were you guys impressed by anything? Did you notice anything from previous fights?
I mean, Garou's ability. We talked about that. You already talked about it. His ability to just like Sun Wukong, where he just see it, master it, replicate it, and implement it perfectly. The most impressive thing is just the counters, because that's what we seen Bang use to just like walk all over if you're ugly. That's the most impressive thing about the fighting style, just redirecting the attacks to me. Because one thing just to match it, and it's one thing to like deflect it in a way that you could possibly hurt your opponent with their own strength. So the fact that like Garou has that in his arsenal to, do it almost or in the same way as Bang is just super impressive.
Yeah, I think it's I agree with that. I think it's even that like he's catching Bang off guard a little, like to the point where like you get that panel where Bang outruns him flying in the air, shoulder barges him like sky high, and then before he can like, and as he goes to throw him down, like Garou counters it like while he's in the air. Bang is literally he's caught off guard from that, as if like that's. Like it's not like like there's other panels before where like Garou counters stuff, but like he's like this isn't how it's supposed to go,
Yeah, he was literally surprised. He got really surprised by that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's definitely like those are the things I was going to mention when I questioned that, because so if you guys remember, not only did Bomb also like shoulder throw or like what is it like a tackle? Is that what we call it technically? Like, not only did he tackle Garou and sent him flying, Darkshine did the same exact thing too, and now now Beg did the exact same thing too. It brings up a question, or it brings up a scenario that we were discussing in Discord since chapter release. So we have the instance of Darkshine, right? In the fight with Garou and Darkshine mentions that whenever he fought Bang was not only reluctant to fight him, but then once Darkshine became the aggressor, Bang really just deflected the majority of his attacks and didn't really deal that much damage or any damage to Darkshine at all. Now we're seeing Bang in his full power form just like send a stronger Garou flying like nothing. Previously, Garou was matching bazookas, matching double bazookas, pulverizing the arena around them in the Darkshine fight. So I think it's safe to say that Garou has physically, by fact, gotten physically stronger since the Darkshine fight. Does this confirm that not only is Bang probably faster than Darkshine, but stronger too? Or do you not see it that way?
I think that's fair. I think that's pretty fair. I definitely think faster for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think at this point in the fight, yeah, probably stronger, probably got an edge in speed as well.
Yeah, Darkshine's just got the edge in defense and durability. That's it. Apart from that.
Damn, I thought you guys were going to fight more. I guess it really is just a lot of sucking in Discord.
Nah, I've always felt that's the whole thing. It's just the durability part that like gives Darkshine the ultimate advantage, but strength wise, speed for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Shit. Well then, The second piece of evidence that I guess we could use to boost up Garou's just exponential growth in learning capacity. Like we saw Orochi just glance at Garou's style and then copy it. We got context outside of the story from, I think it was Murata 1, seeing that Orochi's probably as competent with the water stream as Garou was at that time period. Just off that one glance. In here, he copies the awakened breath. For you webcomic readers, as you guys have tried to hype or shove down our throats for years now, the technique was originally dubbed, or unofficially dubbed, abandonment, where, as Bang explains, it's a breathing technique for the water stream. He details it as... hold on, did I pass it already? I think I passed it.
A technique that draws the very limits of one's body.
There you go. So, he does this mid-fight. This isn't something that Bang taught to Garou. So, how do you see the awakened breath? Is this something that complements the water stream, or is this something to just make you stronger? Like if Saitama learned the awakened breath, could he do that thing to Garou?
Well,
that's a good question.
Well, Saitama's always awake and breathing. So. It's fine.
No, but you don't know, man. I don't mean like Saitama do things. I mean like if he is the one, if anybody were to implement this technique, like if Glasses learned the awakened breath, could he start, sitting there fighting with Spring Mustachio or something?
I mean, potentially. I mean, like, they have something similar in Demon Slayer, where it's about, like, having proper breathing, and, like, proper breathing is what, like, puts your body in, like, that zone of, like, peak physical fitness. Because, obviously, it's getting the oxygen, like, flowing through your body, getting it that, so that's probably what the awakened breath is similar to. It's this whole, like, this idea of, like, getting the oxygen flow, getting your body ready. So I can't see a reason why other people can't. It's not like this is like the final form of the water flowing, rock crushing style or anything. It's probably more like, but it is probably not something that anyone could do. Like obviously the only two people we've seen are two martial arts masters. Like Bang in his like obviously legendary martial artist, the Garou, who obviously could copy it, but it's probably not something that anyone could do. It's something you have to like. It's probably just the experience of fighting consistently, and I'm losing what I'm saying here. Probably fight consistently and just having like and study more than anything. So it's not something that I think anyone could do, but I think it's something that anyone could theoretically achieve.
Okay, so no.
Yeah.
Are you
good?
So you're saying like nobody has it, but anybody can do it?
I think it's more a mastery thing. So anybody can do it, but you have to be at a certain level in order to be able to kind of gain that skill.
So Shoranko doesn't have the awakened breath.
No. I doubt it.
He needs it immediately. Now you've given an idea. He needs to have that. Don't put ideas in my head. You know that won't happen.
Man, just going through the fight again, like how do you feel about Bang as a character in general? Like, because let me give you my honest thoughts, right? I'm pretty deep into the stream. Everybody who's listening now is listening because they're interested and they're competent enough to understand our feelings about the story. They know that we can speak freely enough and without any restriction, and that they're gonna understand that we're not bullshitting or trashing the story. We're giving our honest opinions. I think this happened too fast, and it's because of the bomb fight, right? I guess I'm just expecting a scenario like that to happen because they told us that these guys was just so close in strength. I have to assume that Murata was considering the awakened breath whenever he said that Bang and Bomb were relative or that Bomb was stronger. I have to think that. The dialogue in this chapter may allude to something different. May allude to like Bomb saying in canon that Bang is stronger when using the awakened breath, but I guess it's fair to just use that then. Sure. Every other time we've seen Bang fight, though, it's never been up against like the strongest individual in the series, and it's almost never. I don't think it's ever been alone. I don't think he's ever fought alone either. Maybe up against Garou is the only other time, because with Melzergard he fought with the rest of the boys and stuff. So like,
the only time he's fought alone was against a demon class monster who he just destroyed in seconds.
Fist fight Dijin.
Yes, yeah. So it's like I'd say in a similar way to Atomic, how like they've always had opponents who are too like below their level, no one who can like give them a proper test of their ability, you know? Up until Atomic for Black Sperm and now Bang fighting Garou.
I guess what I'm asking is this satisfactory? Like, when you said at the beginning of the stream, Satsuki, like, that shit hit, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, this nigga told the truth right there, bro. Like, they really stole this man's thunder, bro. Like, Bang was supposed to show out. Bang was supposed to just run that bit. But
that was Matt who said that.
That was Matt. That was my fault. That was Matt who said that. But, like, I honestly like the bomb fight better, bro. Maybe it's because I like the whirlwind better, but like, I don't know, man. Like, like, don't get me wrong, bro. When Garou got up there, parried this nigga, and put him in a pile driver, dropped him in neck first, yo, that's what I mean by put him on his neck, man. That's what I mean right there, yo. That was wrong, bro. I fucked the heavy, hell yeah. But like, bro, like, I like that quick action, that quick no dialogue back and forth that Bomb was putting out. Like when Bomb did that, he did like a punch with his whirlwind, and the ground broke in circles, and Garou just popped out of there. And then we saw a sequence of them just going back and forth. Like, you can follow the entire fight by looking at the picture. You don't need some big overarching like background. You don't need like somebody telling you what's going on in the fight or explaining or anything like that. Like, you look at the picture and you clearly understand the sequence of events, the sequence of actions, and what happened. This has been a masterfully drawn fight. I understand every single martial art sequence. Like, the direction of their kicks, how they're lifting it up, like how they're deflecting and blocking and countering. You can tell. This is... I don't even know if I swear to God. I promise you, this is like top 5 fight choreography. You're not going to get fights that are this easy to read almost anywhere else, bro. Even Vagabond, this is comparable to Vagabond, I'll say that. The sequence that we just got for Bang and Bomb in their fights against Garou, that panel only, drawn only, no fucking explaining, no nothing, bro. No words, ain't no words, man. Top 5, bro. Top 5. But I want more. I want more of that shit, dog.
Well, as I said at the beginning, what we got in this chapter, I feel... Well, first, Matt was right, because I felt the same way. I said it in my live reaction, too. I was like... Before I started the live reaction, I talked about how the Garou and Bang was going to be the main event, and by the end of the live reaction, I was like, yo, I kind of not forgot about it, but I do feel like it was overshadowed by Black Sperm and Vomit If You're Ugly, which we definitely got to have a dialogue about that, man. But I was going to say something. Else. Oh yeah, this what's going on right now is just it's just the prep for what I expect to be one of the best fights in the series, because just with these two characters, this has been built up for a very long time. I feel like a chapter needs to be dedicated specifically for this fight, and we didn't get that in this chapter. So I feel like, you know, I'm not one to tell people to like wait and see, because you can give your opinion on something and change your opinion on it later or whatnot. But for this specifically, because of what we know about these two characters, I don't think the fight can be judged based on what we saw in this chapter, because I think by the end of it, we will feel completely different about it. So, they're warming up. Garou still is not even conscious.
Exactly, and Bang doesn't even. He's not like, oh my god, I'm in serious trouble. Bang's just like, you're worth teaching. You know, he's just like he's scratching his head. He's just like, okay, let's get going. But I'd ask you this, Grimm, because like the difference I find, one thing is we expected this fight to go on. Like we knew Bang versus Garou was going to be a big fight. But for me, in comparison with Bomb versus Garou, I really thought it'd be super one-sided on Garou's end. So when Bomb started like holding his own, it was great. So do you think that you partially enjoyed that fight more? Because for me, I enjoyed that fight more because I thought it was going to be one-sided. It wasn't. Is that the same for you?
I can honestly say that I had no expectation for how any of the guys would perform. Bomb, I did because of the story's context. Just the way he was looking, the way Murata drew him, that's one of my favorite like expressions I've seen in this story for when a fight's coming up. Like Metal Bat looks cool as hell, bro. Swinging his bat around. When he walked up the EC, bro, Metal Bat was looking like that nigga, bro. Hell yeah, man. When Atomic was walking down the hallway, bro, to carry the black sperm or slash the black sperm at first, he dodged and he was talking shit to him like, "Hey, I'm going to cut you down, bitch." Like it was raw, bro. Like that's or when Rover, bro. When Rover walking up after just blasting the whole highway, walking up on Garou, bitch. Bruh, niggas be coming into these fights, bro. They look so wrong when they do that. But Bomb, bro, Boros would have backed up when he saw Bomb, bitch. Yo, the way Bomb was that Garou, nigga, Boros would have been like, I don't need his armor, bitch. Yo. Bro was about it, bro. That's the only thing that gave me an expectation about this fight. Because it's not that it takes the fun away, because it doesn't. It's a prediction, and it's just that it's a prediction. I didn't have any reason to predict how well Garou would fare up against here. Like, maybe it's reasonable to say that I didn't expect Bang to die because he's in S class. I didn't expect him to lose quickly because this is like the fight, so it's the fight. That's really the only expectation I had, but like, it's probably the fact that like Garou is achieving all these small little feats in between that's making the fight so much more worthwhile. If that answers your question.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. It was just whatever your answer was. No, there's no wrong answer. Just whatever yours was.
I think Sundown's still praying right now, right?
No, I haven't gone yet.
What about you, bro?
What was the question before you went on your before Matt asked his?
No, we're answering Matt's question, which was
Okay. Ryan.
I just asked, like, did you enjoy Bomb's fight more against Garou because you expected it to be more one-sided when Bomb actually held his own, in comparison to this one because we knew there'd be more of a fight here?
Yeah, so with Bomb's fight, I think for me there was an expectation that he was kind of being used as that kind of intermediary, just waiting for Bang to get there, especially because of that part that Grimm's been talking about, where he essentially lost a good chunk of his power, feeding that into Tank Top Master and revitalizing him. So there was an expectation for me personally. I was like, okay, yeah, this guy's probably going to get bodied. So when he wasn't bodied, I was like, oh damn, this guy's putting in some mad work. It'd be cool to see what Bang could do. So now there is an expectation to see Bang put in some mad work, especially because he doesn't seem to have broken too much of a sweat yet. Like we haven't seen him go all out. Even though Bomb's saying he's going at full power, it's his expression doesn't show that he's this is his absolute limit. So I want to see that and see how that goes. But I think with this fight, it's just warming up. So we're not gonna like it as much, or if you do, that's cool. But we're not. I don't like it as much as the Bomb fight, just simply because that went through kind of the end-to-end experience of it in a single chapter. Whereas this is going to be, I feel, more drawn out. It's going to be a little bit more complex in the sense of it's not going to be just an action-based fight. It's going to be some element of kind of like emotional there's going to be some emotional warfare in the sense of Bang is going to be more against completely killing someone like Garou if he gets the opportunity. I doubt that'll come across. And we don't even know if Garou at this point in time can process something like that. So if he wakes up, what will happen then? Will he see his master and say, okay, I gotta kill this guy to kind of prove myself? In which case, will that affect Bang, knowing that his student is actively trying to kill him now? The hero hunter is actually trying to hunt him. Will that affect him and how he fights back? Or will Garou wake up and say, ooh, this is my master, I'm going to put him down, but I'm not going to kill him? How would that affect Garou's fighting style compared to his kind of unconscious fighting style? So I think there's still a lot more. There's a few directions this fight can go while it warms up.
I like that you brought that up right there. Like, I don't think we've talked about. I think we probably have touched on it once or twice before, but I mean, that's the thing though about One Punch Man. It's not. This man is. Let me preface. When I say demon, I mean good, very very good. So demon means new viewers. One is a demon when it comes to storytelling, bro. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Garou loses. I said it right there, bro. Right there, bro. Did you expect Dark trying to say eek?
Hey, bro, that's something different.
like Garou like was doing that thing to him, bro. And then he said eek. Like, I'm this man can do anything to stop Garou. My sequence or my thought process is Garou wins, and then he tries to run a gauntlet on the rest of the heroes, and then that's how the stakes get worse and worse and worse for the heroes until old boy Kate Baldy comes in and cleans up. You already know how it is, bro. Big, strong, big yellow, man, coming through. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my train of thought. But man, wouldn't it be? Oh my gosh, wouldn't it be that thing if while Garou and Bang are going all out, Rover pops up and puts them both in their place, bruh. Just takes them both out. Then everybody got to deal with Rover, man. Bruh. The possibilities, the players that are yet to arrive, including King, Metalbat, Rover, and Phoenix Man. They could throw big wrenches into the equation, bro. I'm not saying any that's going to happen. I'm saying that those characters are all on standby. Confirmed standby. Phoenix Man ran away. He is not dead. Confirmed standby. Metalbat is coming. King, you already know. You already know. You already know. Yeah. Yeah. You got it.
This is a free-for-all Royal Rumble with one battlefield where multiple people are fighting. So I think it's perfectly, in bounds to say that the fight can get interrupted or not even conclude. I think there's somebody in your server whose name is like the Bomb versus Garou fight will not finish, which made me laugh. It's not an isolated area, so I could see something like that happening. It's just narrative wise, I think the easiest conclusion to come to is it's going to conclude because, I mean, with this arc being focused on the Monster Association specifically, I would expect this arc to have a lot of meaning with Garou, and what he's been doing. And they could do it past.
What does it mean
arc.
Conclude? Like, what do you mean? Like, do you mean I'm talking about Bang and Bomb's relationship, right? What do you mean by conclude? Because, yeah.
What I mean by that is, like, I feel like this arc will be the time to make Garou into a monster. And it's going to, if we expect Garou to get stronger and stronger and stronger, it's going to get to a point where if he progressively gets stronger like that, a fight between him and Bang should not mean anything at that point. Because he would be so strong that he would just be able to just like walk all over him. Now we don't know the rate of how strong Garou could get, but his potential right now is looking limitless. So I expect things to conclude with their story. Not to say that they won't have a story past this arc. But I mean, specifically with this master and student thing, Bang saying that he has to take out Garou, and Garou becoming a monster, and dealing with his humanity, that internal struggle. I feel like that's going to come to a conclusion in this arc. That's just what I believed. Things could happen differently.
No, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, in terms to fights, like, I feel like this is the one fight I want to leave alone, because it's like the idea of Rover jumping up and joining any fight sounds good, but I want this one-on-one to happen for a while. Like, I don't need Rover to show up soon. Any other fight, I'm like, that sounds amazing. But for now, what if, like, that's what happens on the way? Like, what if on the way to, like, the reason Rover isn't there is because where Metal Bat and King go, all of a sudden Rover pops up there. And that's their problem right there. But I'm not against... That's like what's so good about this Battle Royale, is like anyone could jump up and join any fight when they need to. But at the same time, there's certain fights I want to be left alone. And this is the one I want to see fully play out for the longest that we can of Bang and Garou.
100%, bro. There's like, man, it's gonna be a sad day when Garou leaves. We're gonna need some serious characters, or a serious character to replace Garou. Because,
well, it's all right. We got the Council of Swords.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Man.
Man,
it's the Council of Swordman. That's what he is now.
I don't want to skip to that, but like, I'm of the feel and the thought, and I've seen several individuals in the community that like they were wasted, like they were thrown away, like I get, and it was for the cause of death. But we're gonna get to that. You guys already know that we out here spitting the truth as best as we can. Like, death is not so prevalent in One Punch Man. We usually give names to people who die. Those are called monsters. So to see non-monsters die is a thing. You know, I always make jokes about how many millions of innocent people, thousands, hundreds of innocent people die with like every attack. You don't know who's in that building, Deep Sea King. Why are you throwing a cannon like that, Genos? Wasn't there a kid over there, Spring Mustachio? Why did you land like that, Drive Knight? Like, was there not a building there, bitch? Like, Tatsumaki, the whole coast? So nobody was on the beach, bitch. Nobody was on the beach. Like, I pointed out all the time, like, these heroes kill innocent civilians every day. Every day, bitch. Y'all want to pretend like it happened every day, bitch. Niggas is dying, bitch. So, it's just something that we're gonna get to. I don't want to focus on it the whole time, but let's.
No, I just like the image of you in One Punch Man. You're doing this because there was an incident and you got your toe broken because of the heroes, and then it's all just coming to this. And you're just like, I'm sick of these heroes breaking my toe. We've got to stop them all for once.
Damn, Saitama, bro, you couldn't have stopped that meteor, bitch. Damn, dog. Oh shit!
Mate, if the text was just changed, no one was injured except for one man who got his little toe broken, and then it's just like these events would lead to a massive event in the future of the One Punch Man world.
All right, so let's move on to one of the portions that was shocking in the chapter. I guess it wasn't out of place to mention it about the deaths, but. Vomited Fury Ugly, Spring Mustachio, Yan, Ni Cheating, Abarame. Yes, everybody. So these individuals.
Did you miss out on Atomic?
Oh yeah, my boy.
Your boy?
You missed. Oh my god.
He was in danger. Be relaxed. I don't know why these niggas are tripping like that. This is Atomic, bro. Come on. Look. people died here, in a disgusting way.
Mm-hmm.
Sundown, you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Tell us about this, bro. Like, how do you feel about the brutality of One Punch Man since we've entered the surface, since this arc, bro? Like, how you feeling, bro? Like, what's going on here, bro? What's up with the council? How you thinking?
Man, I'm no specialist in Asian cuisine, but that looked mighty saucy, man. And what they did to this guy, oh my god! I mean, I was surprised. Not gonna lie, when I saw the way that is it Amahare, I think it is.
Yeah.
The way he just got reduced down here via acid is probably. I think this is probably the worst way someone die. I mean, it doesn't look like it was prolonged, but definitely one of the more graphic ways someone's died. Usually, like it's kind of very anime heavy, burst of blood or a cloud of blood. Someone's just been vaporized. All right, cool. We're kind of used to that. That's something I think we've become a little kind of visually deafened to. And that's something we've seen a lot of as we've been going through a lot of the surface related stuff. But then when you see, like, I think it's more of the more nuanced ways of dying. This is definitely one of those ways, and like you can see each of his limbs separate to his body here, just because he's been. It's not even like they've been chopped off. He's literally been melted down to just bone. I'm surprised even the bone remained. To be fair, considering his limbs are in such a state. But then it's always the way that when someone dies in a unique way, like here, and then when we see Nichirin as well, that was bad. But then there were things like, I think when we saw Sekingar, did he lose an arm? Was it things like that? Oh, so when they focus on small things and when they focus on nuanced things or nuanced ways of dying or small injuries small in the sense of losing an arm. Those are the ones that always catch me off guard. Like, ooh, and like when I see someone like Saitama, for instance, punching someone out of existence, I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's just focus on the fact that, that guy didn't just burst into a bag of blood or a cloud of blood. It was just Saitama ending him and kind of rubbing him out of the manga. But things like this, things like what we've seen from Sekingar and everybody else, those have all been really, really brutal in their own ways. And to be fair, I've enjoyed it because it's made it feel a lot more dangerous. And this was something I had an issue with. I think it was when I was reviewing One Piece and to an extent My Hero, and definitely it must have happened at some point in Seven Deadly Sins. But there were always parts where I was like, this is meant to be the most serious fight of the century. This is meant to be like all our heaviest attackers, defenders, whatever they might be, mages. All our top level fighters are going against the enemy's top level fighters, and it never felt like it was dangerous. I never felt as a reader like, oh shit, people are actually dying. Like, oh my god, this guy's just lost an arm. He's considerably disadvantaged now. And I never really felt that. There have been elements in One Piece where I felt that, but especially in I think in some of the recent arcs, I've been like, I've not felt that sense of danger and that sense of, people are about to be brutalized. And I think One and Murata really set the tone here where people aren't going to make it out alive, and they're going to make sure to show you exactly how they died, if they did die. I mean, just seeing how Amai died, well, possibly died, I think we're all pretty sure he's going to come back, but seeing how he was torn apart, that kind of sets the tone for how serious this is, and I'm loving every second of it.
BS. Complete bullshit. I 100% feel the exact opposite way. I feel that the fact that these guys died and not Tank Top, and probably not Amai, and probably not Child Emperor, I think that speaks to he's soft, bitch. Let me say it like that, bro. One soft. Like, you put it like that. Like, either.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, yeah. In terms of who's dying, yeah, I agree with you. In terms of the ways that they're dying, then that's kind of a different.
Oh yeah, you got it. You know. Oh, when it comes, no, bro, don't nobody draw this, bro. Like, look at this, bro. You can see Abarame, Arame.
I think Amahare.
Amahare. You can see Amahare's like Like not even his ankle bit, like a little bit farther, like the middle of what is that bone that connects to your ankle?
Shin.
The shin, yeah, the shin bone. That shin, bro. You can see his shin just straight melted in half, man. You can see his other shin too, bro. He got some big ass feet, dog. His toes ain't broke, bro. You can see his skeleton cage, dog, bro. Look, I think you can even see the light in his eyes still.
Hey, at least, Tatsumaki need to run over to the battlefield, get that shoe. Get your shoes back, girl.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I wear this she just wears it every day now. I wear it on her.
Actually, wait,
About him every day.
I swear Atomic needs a shoe.
Does he?
Yeah.
He missing the shoe for real?
I don't know no more, bro. He was. Niggas is clowning, bro.
Man, their shoes lying all
yeah,
around
the
this
last-
battlefield, dude.
Oh, that happened so long. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, without them been losing shoes all arc, man.
What I do like about these deaths is it is very clear that they are deaths. Because in other series, I know there'll be like an explosion or there'll be something happening and it's not 100% clear. Like, oh, is this a death or is there any way for a character to come back? I like that these deaths are so open and honest. Like, no, there's the skull caved in. There's half his body on the ground there. There's the melted corpse. There's no confusion here. These characters are dead. And, like, to be fair, with One Punch Man, for the most part, it's been good with that because obviously whenever Saitama punches someone, corpse explodes. We know that they're gone. But when they can leave it with ambiguous enough, so for example, with a character like Orochi, that like if they need him to come back, they can do. But when they want to kill someone, they won't hold back. If they're dead, they're dead.
See that I think that's actually like probably the reason that sparked that was the catalyst for my anger, because Tank Top got pumped, bro. Like I don't want to say the R word because you know, but that's the context that I mean, bro. It wasn't voluntary and he didn't want it, and that shit was rough, and he took it all, bro. Tank Top had that thing done to.
Is that it?
Thanks for the description, dude.
That's the sound of that thing being done to Tank Top, bro. He looked like he had, bro, like everything happened to him, bro. Like name it, that shit happened to Tank Top, bro. That's what it looked like. And he's mighty fine. Tank Top magic. Like what probably is gonna piss me off the most. Excuse me, YouTube. I apologize, Lord YouTube. Oh, gods of the realm. Is the fact that we saw Amai's guts, bitch. Like Fear split him from the balls first. And old boy's probably still gonna come back. Like, hear the saving grace, right? We've seen everything happen to Zombie, bro. Get his head blown off. We've seen his brains pouring out. We've seen him take guns out of his innards, bro. Like, this man is dirty, nasty. We've explored some of the gruesomeness before. Maybe not to this extent, and definitely not to the amount of characters. But we've even seen Sonic go ham on the Hammerhead gang, right? He went in there, cut all their heads off. Literally, just cut their heads off. Like, do this to Tank Top Master.
Hey, what you got against Tank Top, man?
Like, the only reason why I will yield in a conversation or a debate in where you were debating whether to save Tank Top or not is because of the Tank Top army. That like, bro, that shit is masterful, bro. Like, it may be a joke, but that shit is masterful, bro. The amount of people that are using the tank tops, bro. The inspiration of the tank tops, bro.
Oh, Grimm, you want to hear something?
So, baby girl.
Oh, okay, man. I'm wearing the tank top right now.
Grimm, did you get dressed today? I don't seem like you've got a tank top around your heart today.
Put tank top on my toe.
You guys all got caught in the
If
pyramid
you put
scheme.
that tank top round your toe, this would have happened.
Oh, he is. Man,
Bro. Listen, bro.
you don't think the tank top is a pyramid scheme?
What?
Bro, it has to be a pyramid scheme. Tank top master.
Wait, who's the company that's making the tank top? They're making a fortune.
Yo, them shit strong as fuck though, bro. Them shit strong as fuck, bro. Yo, go get them niggas. Tank Top Incorporated. Who they is?
Nah, let me find out they just frauding and just to sell some tank tops. That would be crazy. Doing hero work just as an advertisement. Like,
Yeah,
oh, that should be funny, like so funny, scummy shit. Like you just see Tank Top Master like kill a monster, and he look to the crowd like, I couldn't have done this without my tank top. He smiles, and you get a shining sound effect. Oh man,
Is that his character arc when he finds out that it was just? It's like Space Jam, Michael Jordan. It's like this isn't real water. This is just regular water. You had the power, and he's like, the tank top was nothing. And he finally takes it off, and he has to. So he's like, I'm leaving the association. I have to find myself.
Yo, would it be acceptable if Tank Top was strong without the tank top?
It'd be a
If
bit
it's like
awkward.
if it's like a weighted clothing thing, and he's like, I've got to do it. I finally have to take off the tank top, and just like a dust cloud reaches the sky.
Imagine that.
Or does he like?
For all the emphasis they put on that tank top, he better go from it better be some Master Roshi shit where he's in the buff form, but he like downgrades, because like the way they hyped up this goddamn tank top, it better have enhanced his strength.
Did the tank top, I can't remember, take any damage when? What am I talking
Was
about?
it ripped?
What am I talking about? I'm analyzing tank top.
No, that's a good question. Like, was it ripped in any
No,
way?
I think the tank top was actually mostly okay. There might have been a tear or two, but for the most part, I mean, compared relatively to the state that Tank Top Master himself was in, I think the tank top was okay.
Gums couldn't even rip that bit, huh?
Some crazy shit.
See, what I'm concerned about though is with the brutality of some of these deaths, like this one. I mean, Grimm raises a very good point, which is main characters, people like the S-class heroes, they're not dying. They're not being killed off like this. The only one we've seen so far getting completely brutalized is Tank Top and Amai. And Amai, we're pretty sure is going to be coming back. I think the next closest would be Darkshine, but they're not actually dead. I mean, like, Amahare is pretty dead here. My concern, though, is from what we've seen from Blast, he seems to have some sort of spatial manipulation of some sort ability. I'm just afraid someone's going to pop along. Maybe it's Blast, maybe it's someone else that has some sort of temporal manipulation, like some sort of, they can make something go back in time. Let's say a specific area.
Stop.
Kind of Orihime from Bleach.
Stop.
And
You're
if
gonna
something like
invoke
that
it.
happens,
You're gonna invoke it.
dude,
Stop.
if something like that happens, I will be so annoyed.
I will say
be
this,
so annoyed.
there's not that necessarily, but there is Dr. Genus who can clone things and also can reverse ages.
Nigga.
So, if these guys were to ever come back, that's it. My main idea with that is if we ever wanted a young Bang and Bomb, that would be the way to do it. But apart from that, like,
I mean, I don't
think they'll touch that.
To be honest, like, we just did a Monstrous Anomaly video on the Yasu Revolutions. You guys should check that out. It's on the front page of the Grim Reaper channel. Just click the big thing that looks like a samurai face. It'll be right there. You'll find the video. But he says that he's lost his purpose. So
That's true, exactly. I don't imagine he's just gonna go, "Hey, Hero Association, I'm just gonna do this," you know? I don't think it's gonna be that at all. Like, but I think if there was a situation in the future, I won't say not in terms of bringing people back to life, but if there's a situation like world's gonna end, Genus isn't gonna just sit there and be like, "Oh no, my shop, my sushi restaurant."
no, but this is definitely relevant, and I think it holds importance because this would be a remedy or a way out of the whole death aspect, right? So let's say you don't kill somebody, but you brutally maim them, like brutally. And I'm talking about like they can't fight in the same way they could before. The character is fundamentally changed. Those are the things that are acceptable alternatives to death to me, to where the character is irreparably changed by the event, like, and taken out by the scenario as well too. Like if Tank Top comes back into combat in this fight, in this arc, I think I would dislike that. If Tank Top doesn't show like issues in his recovery, and I don't mean like being in the hospital for a long time out of the story like he was. I mean like being in the story and involved, and then having an occasion with like Darkshine, to where he may have some performance anxiety, or like he may fail in combat because he can't produce the same amount of power, something like that, where he has to find an alternative to be better, not the same, but better than he was before. Something like that to me would be acceptable. But like to just having this as the way out, it's too obvious of a cop out. Like it was already odd enough to where these guys came into the story. I had to make up my own reason as to how they came into this this arc in the first place. Because Atomic Samurai spoke to them about capturing Garou, not about defeating the Monster Association. And he didn't send us SOS or anything like that to them. They just saw the what was going on. So I pieced together that, like, after seeing the big picture of like where the inhabited portion of Z City was, and how big the shield that Tatsumaki had erected was, that like they were probably waiting for the shield to go down like everybody else was when they were trying to come for rescue, and then they just came in at that point. That's how they got in. They just saw the explosion of destruction going on, and everybody noticed it was on the news, and they came to help. And that's how you brought them in. You didn't even explain that. That's what I just made up in my head, because it seems reasonable. And then you kill them all, not two or one of them. You kill them all. Like, I'm not even coming from a place where like I was attached to any of these characters. I really was not. But kill fucking Tank Top, bro. Kill that nigga.
Yeah, I already spoke my piece on how I felt about the Tank Top thing. I didn't like it. I didn't like Fubuki's involvement in it either. And I already said, like, the only way to make up for it now is to expand more on the Tank Top lore. If you don't do that, then I feel like it's wasted to bring him back, given that what he dealt with. It's just one of those things where I'm not saying I wanted Tank Top dead like before that happened. It's not like I'm like, kill Tank Top, I don't care how it happens. It's just when you present to us the stakes and you poise or you present it in a way where it's like, oh yeah, they got a chance of dying, and then you just kind of pull the rug from up from under us. Like, why did you even do that in the first place? It's not like I asked you to put him in a situation where he was getting absolutely maimed and brutalized. So when you actually do those things, I would want you to deliver. Like, don't chicken out at the last bit of it.
I think they'll deliver.
We talked about Atomic Samurai previously, and how he was gonna feel about Zanbei's death. There was some dialogue previously between Puri Puri and Atomic Samurai, where he confessed to Puri Puri that he just had to kill his best friend. So he wasn't too like cry about it, wasn't too shaky about it. He was just matter of fact about it. Now Zanbai is dead in front of him. Maybe they're two different scenarios, but both times a member of the Sword Council had died. Now all of them are dead in front of him. The entire Sword Council either died in front of Atomic Samurai or at his hands. What do you expect from a character who would encounter something like this?
Well, this doesn't have to do with like what specifically happened to them, but this is what I want from Atomic. I don't say this needs to happen, but this is what I want. I need Atomic to be a leader. Like, he's already a master of his disciples and whatnot, but the way he guides them is in a very nonchalant manner, where he's not as responsible as you would want him to be. But considering that now he's the head of the Council of Swordsmen, I expect him to be a lot more mature if he's going to actually take that position serious, and if he's going to replenish those numbers. I don't know if he would have his disciples be a part of that council, or if he would recruit more people, or whatever it is. I want him to take that position serious, considering what just happened. Like, it's on him to carry that mantle now. So what I want from Atomic is for him to be, not to say that he was like not serious before, but I don't know. I want to see like more gravity be put on the position that he's in now. Because before I think he could like take it for granted and, you know, just kind of like, you know, like just how he teaches his disciples. It's like real basic. It's like, when they need to cut something, you just like cut harder. You know what I'm saying?
That bitch worked.
Yeah. You can do that with them. Like, I think that's fine. But like I said, when you're leading a whole bunch of men, it's not just your disciples. It's not just people that are super loyal to you. Like I said, this is if he replenishes those numbers. I think he has to be a little more serious than that. It's not like when Saitama gives Geno's cues here and there. Like that's the type of person, that's the type of leadership I see from Atomic. Kind of like how Saitama would teach Genos here and there. Obviously, Atomic is a little different because he actually sees these people as disciples, but like I said, in a very nonchalant manner. But I want him to be more serious, kind of like how Bang is with his students.
Matt,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of strain in like the relationship between the students and the masters too. Because like if Atomic Samurai's feeling more pressure, all of a sudden he's from the only man of the Council Swordsman, you know, he's the one who's got to find this other legendary blade, and you know, he's got, especially if it's like his, you know, his friend's dying wish that, you know, he fulfills their destiny, like to do this, like this was what the Council Swordsman have been doing this whole time. If, you know, there's more pressure built upon like trying to get EI and Bushido and Komatachi to that level, and maybe there's like tension between there because like he's pushing them further than like he normally would. Like he's not like his training is very loose, but it's working because EI's improving. But at the same time, like if he's like, okay, no, you need to improve faster and better as soon as you can. As for I like the idea of him reaching out to maybe like, I don't know who else, because I feel like we've met like the Master Swordsman. They could obviously introduce more Master Swordsmen, just like martial artists. There's plenty that we don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if one of his goals is now to try and, if he feels like he can't do it on his own, which doesn't seem like Atomic, because he's pretty confident in who he is to try and recruit new members to the Council of Swordsmen. But I also do agree with that. I think a more serious Atomic like would be more interested to see.
I don't. Before you go, Sundown, I don't necessarily think that like I see the way that he treats Ian as like more in like he's towards the end of his apprenticeship, like kind of like how it is in Star Wars. I don't know if you guys have seen Star Wars or not. Comparing like Anakin to like 1, 2, and 3, like in like the second movie, it was a lot more like his master was like on him and like nagging him and like telling him that he has to do it this way, and there was a lot more rebellious things going on. While in the final iteration in Revenge of the Sith, it was more so like, this is a scenario, how are you going to act in it? And then Anakin's performance showed that, oh yeah, he has mastery, oh he's mature, he can handle it. Even though he may speak in a different manner, or even though he may like, there may be some things that are still childish about him, like he still has the capability and the skill to not only do the job, but also to excel at it, because that's what the mastership meant. I think that's the same way that at least that I've been seeing Ian and Atomic, because even especially with like amongst the three disciples, Okamatachi and Bushido, like Ian is the leader of them. Like Atomic tells Ian things, like he's the one that's leading the group whenever Kevin came down to Devil Tongue here. So that's why like not only has Ian shown us the viewers that he's competent on his own, and he's competent as like a leader on his own. To me, that's the evidence as to why Atomic Samurai is so lenient with his training. And I definitely agree with the second part that like you both said, that like maybe he has to take a different stance in regards to the Sword Council now. That was interesting. I never even thought about that at all. Go ahead, Sono.
Yeah, I think Atomic's gonna, just by virtue of the position he's in, he's gonna have to take a different stance. He's gonna have to really think about the future of the swordsman and maybe even the techniques that he knows they use. For instance, if he has any, even a slight mastery of some of the skills that Amahare and Nichirin could use, surely he'd want to instill that in the next generation if he could. Let's say if it's one technique that he knew that Nichirin used that he could use, he would want to instill that in the next generation. So I think there's going to be a push from Atomic to kind of, make sure that the people that he's teaching at the moment get to a level where they can obtain mastery and sit on that council with him. Or maybe it's going to be a little bit more along the lines of what Nichirin said to Spring Mustachio in this chapter, which was, you've got all the basic skills, the advanced skills down. Now you have to kind of travel wherever you need to go and be confident in who you are and your skills and obtain kind of the next levels through your travels. And I'm wondering whether Atomic, whether he teaches in that kind of same fashion. Does he foresee that there's going to be a point where he has to tell someone like Ian, yep, you now separate from my teachings, go travel the globe, killing monsters or whatever, and kind of obtain your own or sharpen your own skills and kind of develop your own style? Is that something that could happen, especially with the other two as well, with Okama Itachi and Bushidrill as well? So I think maybe that could happen, but he still needs to repopulate that council of swordsmen, and that's probably the best way of him getting around doing that without recruiting other people across the globe.
That pretty much sums up the Atomic Samurai portion. Or not yet. There's another part we have to get to about the blade and the whole thing like that. But I wanted to touch on Fear or Ugly before we do that. So, Fear is gay.
What?
Yes.
Oh, he's slurping up black sperm.
Not only is he slurping up black sperm, bro. It's the dialogue, bro. It's the dialogue. He says here, a never-ending supply of protein be a perfect meal for me, bro. What?
He didn't say it was good. He's just telling what he's saying what it is.
You think it's gay? No.
Hey, after a sesh, you be needing that protein. He knows how much he needs.
Yo. So, it's Pride Month still, so.
When I seen that, I was like, yo. I was like, he dirty, bro. He is dirty. He is not only ugly, nasty as hell.
Oh, shit. I just want to point that out. Alright, so before we hop on to Fury and the boys, let's check out this whole instance here with Atomic Samurai and Nichirin. So we have to make a correction that in the first iteration of Reddit, the translation, we read dialogue that said that Nichirin was Samurai's master. This was a typo and incorrect. The correct reading is as follows: I've watched you grow before my very eyes as a master. I leave the council of swordsmen in your hands. The correct context of that is that Nichirin has seen him grow as a master. Like, as Atomic being a master, amateur master to his current feats and his current accomplishments. He's seen that process throughout the entire time. So that gives reference to how long Nichirin has been in the Council of Swordsmen, and whether Atomic Samurai joined it in its beginning or in some other instance, something like that. We'll probably get more information towards there, but we can officially declare that Nichirin is not Atomic Samurai's master. With that being said, we also got information about this mythical journey or swordsman journey that the Sword Council, Sword Saints, are participating in. So I'm going to read the dialogue verbatim, and then we can elaborate upon our thoughts. As well as the search for the Moonblade. The Moonblade. The Sunblade and the Moonblade. It is said that the warrior who wields both will obtain unparalleled power as the sword's master. Bringing that legend to reality is the Council of Swordsmen's long-standing mission. How do you guys feel about that?
in general, I think it's cool. I'm happy just giving one extra thing to the story for us looking out. We're going to be like listening for we talk a lot and we think of all these stupid things, so we're just going to be looking at everything. Just trying to be like, is this the Moonblade? Is this the Moonblade? I'm fine with like an ancient with a prophecy because it gives Atomic something to do apart from being a hero. Like he's got his own goal now as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for extra lore. I'm not sure if this is why the moon has had quite a bit of screen time in the chapters that we've been reading since we've come to really this whole arc. The moon's been getting quite a bit of screen time. I doubt that's the case, and this is the reason why. But yeah, I think it's cool. I thought it was a bit weird how this was placed. Like, it's one of his best buddies is dying, half of his body's just been digested away. And this is what he's saying. Like, I would be a little bit more concerned about, the last words of my friend, the fact that they're dying, rather than kind of monologuing in my head about, the sun and moon blades. But I'm quite happy that they have a blade which is half named after me. I kind of like that.
Fucking Sundown.
I'm waiting for like the full name. It's the looks like it's Moonblade. I'm like, oh, whoa.
So I wanted to ask this before we go on to Fear Ugly, right? I'll probably do a whole video on this, but I want to get your opinions. Fubuki, Spring Mustachio, Yan, and Suiryu. Is anybody that I just said not S-Class? Spring Mustachio, Suiryu, Fubuki, Yan.
I mean, technically, none of them are S-Class.
From the accomplishments of this arc and what you've seen on screen.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I mean, would you put Fubuki in S-Class based off of what she's done?
I would, yeah.
What do you mean based like? Have you not seen what she's done?
No, I've seen what she's done. But has she decommissioned anybody yet? Like, completely?
Oh, okay. So this thing is about the offense. All right.
See, to me, just from that chapter where we talk about the S-Class, the ultimate thing is S-Class person, an S-Class hero can take on a demon level threat by themselves and win. That's how I see it. Like, Suiryu, yes, definitely. Took down Chose. That's fine. Ian, still not yet. He's still not S-Class to me. There's a reason why he's A-Class rank 2. He's close, but he's not there yet.
So Tank Top is beating Yan?
Well, I'm trying to think. When did Tank Top must have taken down a demon at some point. If you ask me between the two, yeah, Tank Top's beating him, yeah.
I mean, Yan took down a demon.
On his own?
He basically led the niggas that were gonna eat, but he was protecting them.
He led them. He didn't do it on his own, though.
Protecting them.
He didn't do it on his own, so it's not S-Class.
Is Tank Top beating Suiryu?
No, that would be a fight.
Yeah. I'm going to say no, because Suiryu was out of shape when he was in the Super Fight tournament. And he's getting back in shape now.
The nigga, he was out of shape for real, bro?
Genuinely, well, he wasn't training, was he? Jerry wasn't training. Like, I know he was in good shape, but he was like, I don't train, I chill, I do what I want. But at least he's injured, but he's still he's working out in hospital.
All right. And Spring Mustachio.
Because he's got power, but he just doesn't have the versatility. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I don't think so.
No, I think
I could see an argument based on merits, on-screen merits, for Yan and Fubuki and Suiryu. Spring Mustachio is the one I would leave out, but he's obviously being put in that conversation as well. Especially because we just got through talking about like the possibility of these students becoming involved in the Sword Council, or Atomic having to recruit other people from outside the story, or and just the fact that like these individuals are like they're what's left. Like, where we're talking about the next generation. If we talk about the next generation of people moving up, or prominent characters for the S class, we could talk about Glasses, we could talk about Moomin, but closer than them are Spring Mustachio, Yan Yan, and you can't tell me Fubuki Rover Blaster 2 isn't crazy.
No. I mean, even just like I said, like she nearly beat a demon by herself, like Does when took over the Fubuki group. She had that power boost, and she held her off super well. She's close, you know. She's also like, I think she's got. If she's had any power boosts this arc, I don't know if she has, but like she's pretty much S class level. She's just putting herself in this B class mentality.
All right. So next, let's move on to the dirty part. So with Vomited eating up a bunch of sperm and then attacking Black Sperm, this angered him enough to cause Black Sperm to merge. So previously we see the limit of Black Sperm splitting, and we got the sperm tsunami. Now we get to see the limit of him merging, or what it looks like the limit of him merging, or assuming. This is what happens when he merges. He turns into this tall, big, strong, muscular, dark shine equivalent, God diesel, golden sperm. What was going through your head when you saw the sequence, bro? Like, like, because he put them hands on Vomit, like put a whole 2-piece on him, left him on the ground at the end of the chapter, like. And this is the guy who literally last chapter not only got speed blitzed by Darkshine, but reacted to the speed blitz and then matched his double, not Super Ally Bazooka, double Super Ally Bazooka, matched that. Then poisoned him, had him on the ground. Eek! Eek! What are we feeling about Golden Sperm?
I just want to know something. Do we know that the result of Golden Sperm is all Black Sperm merging together? Bro,
that's the question. That's the key right there. That's the key right there, bro. We can see a whole, bro, talking about Star Wars, a whole whatchamacallit, separatist army, bit of droids out there, bro. Just regular droids, bro. Big cock diesel transport droids, bro. Big droids with guns on them, bro. Little rolling droids, bro. That's what, bro. What if you see 4 golden sperms, bro, with those big kaiju sperms that found Genos and caught Tatsumaki, with 15 of those behind them, and then a whole sea, SEA, bit, a whole sea, bruh, El Mal, bruh, the ocean, bit, of just sperm, and it's black, just a whole sea of sperm that's black, bruh. What if you saw that, bit?
See, I feel like, given how powerful we expect this transformation to be, that it's not going to be a situation where he can have multiple golden sperm bodies like that. That's just like, that's OD, man. So the only reason I asked, like, do we know all, because I can see it like being like one black or one golden sperm and then like some other little black sperms running around. The only reason I asked that is because I want to know if the heroes are now going to be unoccupied or not. That's the real reason I'm asking that question.
I didn't even think about that. I honestly don't know, bro. Like, but go ahead with your thoughts on a golden sperm while we contemplate that.
Let me get my unpopular opinion out of the way. I don't know if it's really unpopular, but I expect it to be. I'm not too fond of the golden sperm design. And it's not the gold. The gold part is cool. Just the thought of it. And I've seen some people like do their colorings and whatnot, and that looks dope. But it's just another like big motherfucker. Like it's like another Darkshine, pretty much. Like when I seen it, I was like, huh, okay. Like it's not bad, but it's not something. It's definitely not one of my favorite designs out of like even within the context of just like the monsters, just talking about them. So like just the look of it, I like the gold part of it, but not like the actual build of him. Now when it comes to the power, he knocking niggas out. Yeah, if you're ugly on the ropes. I think he knocked out a tooth, bro. Granted, his teeth are probably like I can imagine like how fucked up his teeth are. But I mean, like, yo, he went to work on the old boy quick, very quickly, made short work of him. So the power of it is impressive. And you know, like Black Sperm has always been like a very prideful dude, but just like seeing him cross his arms, looking over him, yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope. Like like everything except for like the actual like physique of Black Sperm, I'm cool with, because he had the swagger in there. He showed the power off. The thought of like him turning gold and whatnot, and like what it means for him. Like he's like, bro, like that poison shit. You may have been able to get that off on them other heroes, but I'm built different. Literally, it's not working on me.
I just think his head is too small. That's the only thing for me. The rest of it's fine. I agree. It's probably not top like 9, but it ain't top 100.
I like it mostly because I mean, it's just the actual opposite of what he was before. Like he was this little dinky guy just running around, but now he's a giant muscle man. This is what he really is, I guess. But I especially like it because I've always compared him to like characters like Saitama and Tatsumaki, who always look they are drawn just very simple and plain because they're very strong. But this is like his serious mode, you know? Like this is him, like he's drawn very similar, like in the face to Saitama when Saitama's drawn serious, you know? It's like there's them like messing around. This is him just going all out. And it's just given a completely different tone to like everything else we've seen. Even like the kaiju forms they've been scary, but not like menacing, but not like all powerful. Like we know when there's a character who looks like this, when you can't see a character's eyes, they're serious. And like, so this is kind of, as far as I can tell, serious Black Sperm. I even just like the attitude change in him. He's gone from being like, oh, you like casual talking, like, hey, don't worry, I'm just going to kill you, to like, please your favorite spitting your filth on me. It's like, it's just a complete different person. I mean, I agree with Satsuki in the sense of like, we've had a lot of big muscle guys recently. So another big muscle guy isn't like crazy at all. But I mean, Fury threw up literally point blank at him. And he just stood there. He didn't like bother moving or anything. He just took it and immediately just hooked him back.
Yeah, I agree with Matt and Satsuki. His design is it's not the best. It's pretty decent. It's just that I was hoping it'd be something a little bit more, especially considering how much we've heard about it, just from the kind of a title perspective. But in terms of the attitude change, his language change, like he's not even fuming or pissed off at Fury Ugly anymore. He's kind of just like looking down on him, which is funny because that's been his whole thing. You're looking down on me. That's been his whole thing, and now he stood there cross-armed, literally looking down on someone who he just gave like a 2-piece and a soda. I'm just like, oh my, like he's so badass. But yeah, there's a couple questions which are, is this golden sperm form? Is it the accumulation of every single one of his separated parts? Because there were a lot of those, and that kind of leads on to the second question of he was questioning. He took a quick glance to the right and to the left before he did this transformation, because he was like, I need some time to, or I've now got the time or the opportunity to transform. So I thought it'd be kind of a little bit of a lengthy transformation. That's why he hadn't pulled it out just yet. Because that part there's nothing to stop us from merging. So what was stopping him before this? Was it literally just his decision of if someone pisses me off enough, that's when I'm gonna merge? Or was it like a time issue, like it takes me a little bit of time to merge all all of these separate pieces of me together because there were like hundreds and thousands of him, even though it didn't look like all of them in that panel merged. So I'm not quite sure how to interpret that.
That's how I feel too. That spurred the question that Satsuki asked, and we've been wondering for a while. But I think it's also like, because go ahead.
I was gonna say something that I thought it might be partially like why he chose to combine now is because like in previous chapters when he's fighting all the heroes, they were like, no, we've got to combine. It's like, no, we just got to overpower them. Like there were so many of them, and they were all kind of like arguing with each other. But then the moment Fury Ugly started like going after them and being like, no, I'm gonna kill you guys. You're just gonna be my food for the rest of like out of nowhere. You look, there's panels where they're all staring at him and they're like, hey asshole, don't mess with us. You know. Like they're not like they are all of the same mindset of like you're our threat now. You're the one we're gonna take down. So it was probably more like, as far as I can tell, like-mindedness that they were like, okay, now it's time. Like you're our goal. We're gonna take you down by combining. And like he didn't see anyone who could get in the way.
It's just so weird that like each sperm is almost like an individual. Honestly, like they even argue with themselves, and like. It's almost, you would almost want to interpret it as if like the sperm that was talking is the one who like is now the golden sperm, but like it just seems like there's no essence of like one guy or the true guy. Like I was saying that like the catalyst for him to transform, it seemed kind of petty, because like Darkshine was talking junk as well too, and Darkshine was also killing sperms too, like a lot of them. So like I don't see why. I just don't know. I guess that is because this is the other opinion. Like they said, hey, let's split up. And then they were also saying, no, let's merge. So, I don't know, man. He definitely looked around, saw what was going on, and then decided to transform. But that only happened because he got mad enough. And he was getting attacked. So I don't know, man. Maybe it's because Vomited is actually killing the sperms.
I think it's also because Vomited Fear Ugly directly challenged him. Like he laughed at him and said, "Bro, you got a problem? Swear up, then, nigga." And then Black Sperm ain't gonna run from a challenge. So, like, oh, you think you with the shits? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think the fact that it was a direct challenge, but also that it was from basically a work colleague, someone who is like, who they generally have an idea of where they stand. They don't know each other's complete powers, but they know where each other stand more than, for instance, the S-class heroes would. So getting challenged by someone like that while he's doing something that you told him not to do, i.e., don't slurp up the ramen soup you made of my boys, and he continued to do that and then told him to square up. I feel like that's kind of what crossed the line for him. And by the way, that panel where all the black sperms are just looking at Fury Ugly and they're just pissed off, that's got to be the most scary panel we've had from, I think, Black Sperm.
Nah, it's that first one, bro, where the entire screen was black. You just see black sperm in the middle. That was. Don't get me wrong.
Are you looking down on me?
This nigga's been creepy the whole time, bro. Like creepy, bro. Like there's a lot of creepy stuff about this guy, man. Like I always say that little like trap to get people, but it's really true. Like if there's two heroes walking down a hallway and they walk down two different hallways, if there's a black sperm at the end of the hallway, they're both fighting dragons. And we just saw what those dragons can do. On one hallway, he can turn into golden sperm. In the other hallway, a whole tsunami. So, this guy ain't no joke. I just don't know what he can do. Like, what is... Suki pointed out that, like, his appearance is good. I agree that I think I like it a lot more than Satsuki does, especially because big, strong individuals have potential for speed as well. Oketsu's the main example, and he's the one who I'm really thinking about. He also took this pose. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of fan art, or I'll make some fan art of all these big, strong guys like Darkshine, Koketsu, Golden Sperm, Phoenix, in their big, strong cock-diesel forms. But what else you got? Like, can you just punch? Like, it cut me deep, bruh. When Sundown was like, "Oh, you just hit him with a two-piece," like, that's it, bruh. And like I'm here looking at the chapter as he's saying this, like, damn, bro, like he really didn't do that much more than that. Like he put him in his place. Don't get me wrong, this is vomited, bro. But like, what else you got, bro? Don't get me wrong. There's only 4 panels at the end of a chapter. I understand, but next chapter, bro, Golden better be doing that thing to niggas and with variety, bro. Like I want to see some beams coming out of his hands, bro. I want to see some cannons from his little point on his head, bro. I want to see him like flying and shit, bro. I want to see him like just, look, I don't even know, but just fire, bro. Like fire brawls, bro. I don't know, but whatever, man. Like just do something big, strong, bro. Because bro, like. Just give me something big, strong.
But do you think he's gonna? Do you think? Go ahead.
I was going to say, so it's like you just want to see like different variations and like what he does. You don't want it to just be like blunt force.
Like if he doesn't have different abilities, it will be as you said. He will just be a Darkshine but gold. And I already like what is. And the Darkshine fight was good because Garou fights differently than Darkshine. He was just sitting there taking punches and hits and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to see no disrespect because I'm giving hype to Big God and Gums, but I don't want to see a fight where they're just sitting there tackling and showing up against each other, bro. Like it's a wrestling match. Like I don't want to see that, man. I'm not saying that's gonna happen with Black Sperm if he fights Darkshine because I hope he's gonna be clapping Darkshine. But like, you gotta have some variety in your attacks. Like some variety in your fighting style. All he did was just punch, vomited. Like everybody here punches, man. Well, Bang punches differently, that's good. Bomb punches differently, that's good. Most of these niggas punch.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. It's not like there isn't, like I said, it's 4 pages at the end of a chapter. Like, this man has every opportunity to do everything, bro. He probably can bring up black holes, but who knows? Blast came out of nowhere out of a black hole, but out here warping dimensions apparently. But like, who knows what can happen, bro? Black Golden Sperm have a whole satellite, bitch. Got one, bro. Golden Sperm got a whole satellite, bitch. You don't even know, dog. We don't even know what's going on. So, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
What if it's the case to where his like actual like fighting capabilities aren't very, but like he stays with the big punches that we've seen before, but it's just that he uses his body in a way that like complements his fighting. Would you be satisfied with that?
As long as it looks cool.
Because the main thing with him was before he could change his body and like maneuver it how he needed to. So like obviously like, so maybe there'll be like a compressed version which is like super fast. Maybe there's, and then this is like his giant form which is super strong, and maybe that's how he fights.
Kind of like the whole Phoenix thing where he was flipping from the Falcon to the prominence mode.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's why they redid Brilliant Eagle, because it was like it's too similar to Golden Spur.
Hopefully that's not the case. So what are the prospects for Vomited if you're ugly now? In the previous chapter, he showed up, and then last chapter, like he put Darkshine in his place. He took out 2 of the strongest swords that we have. This chapter, he killed the rest of the Sword Council. Talk about taking somebody's thunder. Nobody got the thunder took more than Vomited if you're ugly. What's in store for him?
I actually disagree with that because I feel like like Golden Sperm is obviously like the main person like that we're paying attention to, but I don't think that dropped anything for Vomit If You're Ugly just because like the reason you already said, he's the only one out here killing people. That's one thing we got to take notice of. So just when it comes to the monster work and what they're supposed to be doing, he's doing his damn job. That motherfucker need a raise, especially for how I thought about him in the beginning. Like, it's so crazy too, because I remember when we were getting the individual fights when we were still underground, the two fights I was the least interested in were the Gums fight. I did not care. And then the Sweet Mask fight. Did not give a fuck because he was just getting whooped. Those are the two fights I did not care about. And then these two together fuse pretty much. And then they come up to be like one of the best monsters right now in the arc. So like, I think that's just funny to me. But I think you could say one thing that's impressive is the fact that, I mean, we don't expect him to be dead. We don't think he's dead or anything like that. So in a way, you could say he tanked these hits. Obviously, he ain't, standing in the pocket and, throwing bowls too. But that motherfucker's still alive. And you got to think of, if you put it in the context of Black Sperm is enraged and he's in his golden form and he took a couple of punches, I think that in itself is impressive. Especially for a person that, again, this is just me. I wasn't too high on If You're Ugly when I first saw him. Like when I very first saw him. Things have changed now, though.
He's definitely grown on us. Even in his first entrance, the response from the community was dramatic. Like, we killing niggas? He about to do that thing to Tatsumaki? He tearing her panties? Like, all kinds of stuff. Like, fear definitely grew on my heart when he first showed up. But let's hear about what Sundown and Matt thought.
I just have a quick question for you, Grimm. So Black Sperm has just got like a true form, like power boost, like Super Saiyan mode.
Fuck, bro.
Meanwhile,
nigga,
wait. A certain swordsman just got a legendary blade. Are you still on board for Atomic Samurai versus Black Sperm round 2 or round 3?
Listen, bro. I already looked it up. You can cut gold with water, man. Atomic slicing his ass.
In just 4 punches, he just decimated Vomited Fiora Ugly without taking any damage.
He messed up, bro. He messed up. Like, this is the only saving grace you have. It's literally the only saving grace you have. This individual was so niche that he could even kill Black Sperm. That's why Black Sperm transformed. After saying it here in the podcast, to me, there's no other reason as to why he transformed. Not because he was mad, not because nobody else was around, but because 100% this nigga killed him. Vomited Fury Ugly killed Black Sperm. So he said, I'm done with that shit. I got mad as hell. I'm transforming. Darkshine was killing sperms. Darkshine was big, strong in the threat. Pulled an extreme for him. Like, the sperm tsunami reached all the way to the habitable zone. Like, this guy could have turned into golden sperm anytime, but he chose to do it now. He messed up. Like, not only in terms of like me hyping up being cocky and stuff for my old boy Atomic Samurai, but narratively, there's a reason why you asked that question, Matt. In the same exact chapter, the arch nemesis, the nigga sent by Psychos herself to defeat Atomic Samurai, Black Sperm upgrades and gets the strength of Golden Sperm. In the same instance, the sun itself descends into Atomic Samurai's blade. Come on, bro. Like, you know Atomic finna cut gold. This is not water. This is not, bro. He finna cut even extra water too. He finna cut too, bitch. 100%. There is nothing he cannot cut.
I mean, acid. You can't cut acid, as we saw.
Hey, bro, a little bit of digestive fluid. So, what else, man? That's definitely how I feel about golden sperm. Like, this guy hasn't gone full power. We don't have an indication of Atomic Samurai going full power. I don't have a reason to say he hasn't gone full power. But now he's got this blade, and this guy killed all his friends. You gotta tell me these niggas mad. It may not be golden sperm who gets the full blunt force of the punishment, but I'm not expecting this blade to have some special properties where it can like elude the pH levels of Gums' vomit or whatever, of Gums' like digestive fluid. I'm under the impression. I don't think he can now cut vomit if you're ugly, but he probably won't have to if golden sperm takes care of him. He messed up. What we talked about in chapter like 4 podcasts ago, when the fight of the survival of the fittest was declared, we all agreed that'll probably be the downfall of the monsters, clear downfall, and we're seeing it unravel right now. Golden sperm is challenging the niche weapon of the Monster Association. He might even put him out of commission. If that happens, everybody's back on the board. Bang can now fight. Bang can't fight Vomit if you're ugly. He'll lose his hands. Darkshine's back on the board. If he gets back up and can fight Golden Sperm. Same thing for Bomb. Same thing for Atomic. Same thing for Eon and Spring Mustachio even. Everybody can fight Golden Sperm. They'll get clapped. Don't get me wrong. I'm expecting him to run a whole gauntlet on these boys. But Fear was already going to do that guaranteed. We were talking about having to get Genos back into commission to deal with Vomited, bro. Genos. Niggas that everybody was trashing. The guy who just lost his arm this fight, or this chapter. They were saying, we're going to need Genos for Vomited, bro. We're going to need air attacks from Atomic, man. We're going to need all kinds of projectile range attacks, bro. That's what people were saying. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Black Sperm, I'm expecting him to live up to our expectations and surpass them by far. I'm talking about, like, clapping individuals. Well. But Fury?
Do you like it narrative-wise, though, when it comes to... I mean, because Vomited Fear Ugly is the one who took out, effectively almost made the Council of Swordsmen an endangered group. Yeah. So, would you like it if Black Sperm is the one to take him out? Because I feel like... I mean, I don't think Atomic, like, needs to kill him. But I feel like there at least needs to be like some dialogue of like, shit, I wanted to do that or something like that. If Black Sperm is the one to take him out.
I think I have a conflict of interest because I personally want to see Atomic Samurai beat everybody who's challenged him. As I just mentioned, he can be even natural. Yeah, bro. Look, even natural water, bro. When Eon said Atomic hasn't taught us how to cut water yet, all right, set. Atomic got to cut even natural water. He got to beat him because Eon was like, my master could do it. It was just alluding to his master could do it. Now we know that his master couldn't do it. He had no idea. It's not like he can't. So that's why I'm still like, all right, bet, prove it, my nigga. Like, you out here so big, strong, and cocky and shit. I believe it. The swagger of Atomic Samurai is real. The nigga walks what he talks the majority of the time. Almost 100% of the times, he walks what he talks. This guy killed your boys. I get that. You have to get revenge. But this nigga, like, bro, the actual rival, not the arch rival, the actual rival is Golden Sperm. So the question is, who do you, because you can't kill them all. You can't kill them all. I'm not under the impression that Atomic Samurai is going to beat 2 high dragons at the same time by himself. Like, that's... Like, relax. Relax. I would sound like a flashy flash if I said that. Like,
well, okay. Then the next question is, which would you prefer out of those monsters that you named? Evil Natural Water with the implications of showing us, or just showing us Atomic Samurai being capable of cutting water. Black Sperm, in which, that was a fight where you were very hyped about. And you called him his nemesis,
his arch nemesis,
his arch nemesis, or You're Ugly because it comes with the narrative of him wiping out his boys effectively. Which one would you prefer?
To be honest, because Golden Sperm got stronger, it would be him. He's it's kind of like a sense of responsibility. I think I touched on this in my review, but it's coming back to me now that like all these guys, they really had a responsibility. They took out their demons, good job, but these dragons, they were the real problem. Tatsumaki handled hers. It got out of control, got out of the hand, but she handled hers. She got a little bit of help, but it wasn't when it was dangerous or too crazy. Like Genos had to step in, sure, but she pretty much handled it. She got it. I'm okay with that. I want all the rest of the heroes to handle their business though. Like Darkseid, he'll lose my respect indefinitely. Like he'll have to do some crazy shit to get my respect back if he doesn't confront Garou confidently. Like I'm not even saying winning, he doesn't have to beat Garou, but he has to put up a performance like what Bomb's doing right now or Bang's doing right now. He has to do something like that, or else, like I'm sorry, bro. Like you bitched out. You didn't step up to the challenge. The first time I saw you, like everybody hyped you crazy, and the first time I saw you, you failed at the challenge. Because that's what it's all about. It's not about you beating some strong guy. It's about you facing a tough situation and coming out on top. Darkseid did not do that. He did not show that he was going to keep going through it. He literally curled up and was like, oh, I don't know what I could do. Atomic didn't do that. Atomic fought Black Sperm throughout half the base, got to the surface, and then still fighting Black Sperm. He's not saying he's going to give up or whatever. Like, Pig God is still with it. We saw Pig God go toe-to-toe with Gums, bro. Out here talking about some, hey, should I use my full power yet? No, not yet. Like, nigga, what? like for real, bro. And even look, don't get me wrong. Like, we can excuse Zombie because Homeless is getting out of hand. Like this nigga's getting out of hand, bro. Like,
it's so funny too because he's literally just he could like effectively end everything, but he's just like I'm gonna let y'all deal with it. It just shows you how confident he is in himself.
Dead ass, bro. So like, I think it's more so that like, it was somewhat positioned as if these heroes have the responsibilities of beating these dragons and these demons, and they can do it on their own. They have the ability to do it, but it's gonna be tough. So if you don't live up to that challenge, I think less of you. Atomic Samurai, even Natural Water, is more like an ego thing. I can put that aside. Vomited, killed his friends, and Golden Sperm just got stronger. Kill Golden Sperm. I know the niggas killed your boys, bro. I know they killed your boys. It happens, B. It happens. Niggas die every day, B. Niggas die every day, B. I get it. But use that anger to beat Golden Sperm. And that's why I said I need Golden Sperm to put some shit on, bro. Like for real, look much stronger than Sperm. Because that's only feat and accomplishments for Atomic Samurai. So I'll say Golden Sperm.
I know this is going off topic, but I this popped up in my head, so I had to ask this question. What is the excuse of Homeless Emperor not going into these fights? Because I could think of like 3 reasons. The only reason I asked this is because the whole competition is to kill S-Class heroes. And we already seen Vomited Fear Ugly be capable of that. I mean, shit, he could have caught a body on an S-Class. So do you think the reason why Homeless Emperor is not stepping in is because, one, he actually has faith in the heroes that they could like not die, at least when it comes to Black Sperm and everybody else, Fear Ugly and all that? Is it that? Is it the fact, or is it B, he's fat that he can effectively like steal kills in a way where they do a lot of the work, but he's fast enough to where he can kill those and take credit for them? Or is it C, he's confident that whoever wins the competition, he can circumvent that by just killing them himself? Which do you think is the reason why he's not stepping in?
The last one.
Yeah, he said, and it could be other ones too, don't get me wrong, but he verbally said that he's waiting for Black Sperm to end all of civilization and then carpet bomb him.
Okay.
But I think it's what would be more badass is the option. Like Vomit is about to sit there and end Atomic or something, and then you see a Homeless orb just like fucking obliterate the area.
That would be dope.
Hell yeah, though. Sundown Gums. Or I say Gums.
You want to say that again?
Matt Sundown of that.
All right. So what was the original question? Was it around Fear Ugly?
It was around Expectations for
Fury.
Golden Sperm, I guess. Yeah.
Was it expectations for Golden Sperm, or was it Fury Ugly's place in the story now that he's getting clapped?
Yes, that both of them. Answer Fury first.
Oh yeah, so Fury, I have no idea how this is gonna go because really his response here will be quite interesting and direct some of how this storyline is gonna go. Because if he responds by standing up to Golden Sperm saying, you squared up, now we gotta end this," that'd be cool. But would the heroes, would Atomic just kind of watch these two dragons clapping each other as you know, as he kind of runs away or tries to protect? Because surely Atomic wouldn't run away. This guy just killed Nichirin and Amahare. Golden Sperm is his arch nemesis, so surely he wouldn't just run from them fighting each other. He'd get mixed up and then want to test out his new blade on, you know, the special blade testing monster.
Yeah, the FAS, man.
So I want to see how that goes. Is that going to be Fury Ugly's choice? Is he going to say, all right, it's either me or Black Sperm that's got to survive here? Or is he going to chicken shit and say, all right, cool, like, I shouldn't have messed with you? And then he kind of just run away, go and attack another S-class hero, kind of leave this to Golden Sperm. If he did that, I feel like his stock wouldn't necessarily drop because of what he's done, but it would be kind of a chicken shit move. It'd be like, all right, yeah, we kind of know where you stand. As soon as someone stronger than you, someone who could actually hit you came, you know, you cowed it out. So that I kind of want to see how that goes. And then with Golden Sperm, I feel like his whole interaction really depends on what Homeless decides to do. Because it could just be Golden Sperm sees Atomic and he's like, all right, we got to settle our beef here. And I'd be fine with that. I'd really love to see how that goes, especially now that Atomic's got the Sunblade. But is Homeless Emperor really just going to be watching all of this from like however many 20 meters away, sitting on that hill, just kind of saying, oh yeah, that's a pretty cool form. I wonder what he can do. Is he just going to scout until he has pretty much nothing more to scout and then start attacking both the S-class heroes and the monsters? Or is he going to do what Golden Sperm is doing and turn on the monsters just because he feels he can? I feel like a lot of that further, like the story that's further down the line, depends on what Homeless's decision is. But I do kind of want to see more of Golden Sperm versus Atomic, because I feel like that's the storyline that needs to reach its conclusion.
Matt?
Yes. I mean, I mostly agree with what these guys said. I don't really have any problems with it. I think it's like I said, Fury has done a lot in like the past few chapters, ever since he's really rose to prominence. I don't think there's like a stock drop for him necessarily. And what Sundown said about like him potentially leaving if like the fight's too much. Like another reason he could leave is generally just to survive, because if his body is constantly, if he's like a constant flow of acid and he can't do anything to Golden Sperm, then he might just dip because he's like, okay, I'm going to go over here, because he might even try and go after Homeless because he's like, okay, I can't damage you, but I can damage Homeless. And then that might be how Homeless gets involved, if he's literally just just big carpet bombing on Fury, and that's the end of Fury there. But like, I think he's done enough. Like it's like, unless he does some like major stupid things, like Fury's pretty solid as far as I can tell. And Golden Sperm is, I don't know. I think I don't think he'd win. I don't know. But like I have to agree with your point, Grimm. The fact that two power-ups from two opponents that have fought each other previously come together in like this, and they're within range of each other. I would like to see a rematch between the arch nemesis. I want to see that, but I don't know if that's going to be enough because of, well, I really bigged up Goketsu when he threw the punch, and Bakuzan was like, "I'm never beating you ever." So in a similar way, like when two dragons fight and one just mops the floor with you, especially when you're untouched, like literally untouchable, and then he's just smacking you about. It's like, well, I guess we wait for Saitama at this point.
Do you think this confrontation between Golden Sperm and Fury Ugly is actually going to make Fury Ugly stronger because of the humiliation of getting thrashed like that.
You're a demon. You're a demon, bro. You crawled out of hell itself, didn't you, Satsuki? Who would suggest something like that? Only a fiend. Only a demon, bro. You want this vomited fuck to get stronger, bro?
Oh, he's definitely going to get up angry as hell. That's now whether he's going to actually do something to Black Sperm is a completely different story. But he's going to get up mad as shit.
God damn, bro. I don't know how I can imagine that, man. Because this guy... I don't know, man. All in all, this is a pretty good chapter, man. Like, I wanted to see more from Golden Sperm, but it's literally the end of the chapter. I understand. Definitely some ambiguity there with how he fused and if there's more sperm surrounding. I definitely think there's a possibility of there being multiple golden sperms. If that's the case, this is crazy. This is crazy. But we'll see. I think it is kind of like asking too much for like him to be able to like shoot beams or something like that. We saw him do like a Luffy type thing where he stretched his leg out, made it bigger when he was fighting Bang. Bang had to deflect a few of them, but like I don't know what else Golden Sperm could do. Like I don't know his repertoire. I don't know what he could pull out. It's gonna be dangerous for all these people. It has to be dangerous for all these people. This guy has to be crazy. But like, what is crazy about him? Is it crazy speed? Is he a Goketsu type? Like, are we fighting Goketsu now? Like, what's going on here with Golden Sperm? I guess we can talk about the magic, right? I guess we didn't really talk about it, but like, can we name it? This is a magic? Like, is this like Shibabu type? Would you consider?
That's what's gonna. Is this magic or is this science? Because like, I don't know. Just because magic has never really been touched in like One Punch Man, so is it some kind of? Is it like teleportation or something?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I don't have one either. But if I'd like, because Grimm thinks it's magic, I'm leaning more towards science. But if you guys have any ideas,
do we have other instances of magic? Like somebody mentioned Phoenix Man's resurrection ability, but that seems more like a power.
I mean, if you want to look at like, yeah, because like if you want to use that, and you can literally just go, oh, Homeless Emperor's energy. You know, that's magic.
That's another instance too. Yep.
Yeah. So like, there's powers, but I don't think it's necessarily gonna. I don't think this will ever come up in the plot. Like, oh, this is how Nichiri did it because he's dead now. Unless actually, well, we didn't see him die, so technically he could come back as like maybe a spider warrior or something.
No.
Hell no, bro.
Just thought I'd test the water.
Ruined him, bro.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy, Paul, but it's definitely gonna be something I'm gonna wonder about.
There's been so many memes of this sequence, bro. Where they got Nichiren pulling out guns,
Yeah.
bro.
That's my favorite. He just pulls out a pistol. And one he pulls out gut sword.
Yeah, that's
Dragon Slayer. Like, I love those memes.
It's that sequence is just so odd to me because I'm just thinking like, at what point were you going to pull this out? Because he had to get in this oddly specific moment to where he has remaining half of his torso. Then he decides, all right, I'm gonna give you this, bro.
I mean, to be fair, they did start the chapter off with like them reacting to like fear coming to attack them. So it's not like he didn't already have a blade. That was like I was thinking the same thing too, bro. Like, why didn't you pull this out when blade melted? But that shit like literally just happened.
I think another part of it too that I'm wondering is, let's say like he did die, he just straight up died, and he wasn't able to take those beads off. Like, if something like that were to happen, then this sword would have been lost for like ever. As far as we know, Atomic didn't know that he had the shit just laying in the beads. So It's just funny to think that like this shit could have easily like been lost for good, and they would have never been able to match those swords.
God damn, bro.
All it took, it actually just could have taken like vomited furiously, just like a slight difference, and then the acid would have melted the beads, and then we never would have got it ever.
Yeah,
I honestly don't want it.
I don't.
You're not a fan
want
of
to.
the Sunblade? You're not a fan of Atomic getting a big old boost?
How
And
dare
potentially
you.
having like a fire sword? That not sound nice?
Nah.
Man,
It has to be him. I don't want anything else. It has to be like wouldn't it be cheap if Atomic Samurai could only do air slashes because of his sword? Like this sword.
I get the implications of like what happens when you introduce some like a legendary sword in it, because then it's always going to be the question of, is he able to do this because of the weapon itself or because of him? And I think what it's going to boil down to is, even if this sword, we expect him to give it a, like he's going to get a boost from this. Like we just have to come to terms with that. He's going to get a boost because of this sword. But I also think it's going to be one of those things where other people cannot either wield the sword or draw out the same amount of power as Atomic is. So I think that would be the saving grace of it, at the very least.
I mean, regardless of it, it's like, I want to make this very, very, very clear. I'm not saying this because I think that like there'll be a point where somebody can claim that Atomic Samurai is only this strong because of the sword. There's 148 chapters worth of proof that Atomic Samurai is one of the strongest high dragons in the series. And any monster you put him up against is a good fight. Maybe not Orochi, maybe not Sairochi, maybe not Boros. But who else, bitch? Who else can't Saitama fight? Tatsumaki? Okay. Saitama? Okay. King? Okay. Who else?
We got the fly and your bee. Or the wasp in your house. We got them two niggas.
Alright, bet.
Resurrected wasp?
oh man.
Hell no,
Phoenix
bro.
Light on the Wasp, round 2.
Nigga finna take my whole foot.
Grimm's looking at his back right now. He's like, oh shit. What's that buzzing out here?
That's it. Grimm's just like, I know how brave John. Oh my god. I relate.
Oh shit. No, like it says, it is said that the warrior who wields both will obtain unparalleled power as the sword's master.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't
man.
know how that whole plot point is going to go.
Like when you guys were talking about it before, I was like thinking of maybe because you know how like almost like Metal Knight wasn't involved in this arc. Neither was Watchdog really. It's taped like once or twice. Maybe that probably happened for like the next arc, because these guys have pretty much been in like all the main parts. Like when Boros arrived, Atomic was there. So was Bang. Bang's been there throughout most of this arc, not the entire time, but he had a big fight with EC. Atomic not as much in the beginning when there was just the invasion portion, but during the heroes invasion portion, he was prominent. So like he's been in the arc as much as all the rest of the mainstays here. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get a big spotlight in the next arc, and if that's the time where he has to go on this journey or whatever to like find this other sword or whatever, some shit like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case that happens. But either way, like I just. And you can tell it's supposed to be mimicking the Legend of Musashi, because Musashi was a dual sword wielder. He made that style. I forgot what the name of the style was. Like damn.
Somebody actually said that in the chat. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, forgot the name of the style.
Okay, Andre said, do you guys think Nichiren mentioning the legendary sword is a reference to Miyamoto Musashi and his Nitin Ichi Ryu
that's what it is.
style?
Yeah, the Nitin Ichi Ryu. Yeah, that's what it is. The dual sword style. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's literally exactly what it is. It's supposed to be that, and that's badass. Don't get me wrong. That's badass, but only if the sword is nothing. Nothing. That could be it with the context of that statement there. And don't get me wrong, we have reason to question the translation. Even in this chapter, even in this very panel, we got a mistake with the translation. I'm not saying that there were any other mistakes, and I'm not trying to blemish the name or reputation of the translators. They do an amazing job on a routine basis, and this is one of the first times we've ever had issues. So it's not like they're inhuman or that they can't make mistakes. I'm just saying that the wording here almost implies as if like it's the sword's master. Like 2 swords. Not like the sword master, but like the master of sword, of like the swords. Like 2 swords. Multiple swords. 2. That's what the wordplay to me is seeming like.
How many swords?
You know.
2, I think.
But yeah, I'd rather like he throws one to Eon, and Eon does the same exact shit, bro. Does that thing. That's what I would prefer. Actually, not like what Satsuki said, to where like nobody else can pull out the real power. No, as in like anybody else can pull out the real power, because there ain't no power.
What? I don't expect this to happen, but let's do a hypothetical. Would you like it if the history and the lore behind the sun blade and the moon blade was all cap? Like it was just kind of like a placebo thing.
Yeah, that would be badass. It'd be disappointing as fuck for niggas. Like 100% disappointing. Like niggas would be mad as hell. That turned out to be the case.
You don't even want it for story. You just want it to annoy people.
That's cheap.
It just kind of reminds me of it's not the exact same thing, but the Z sword of Dragon Ball Z, where it's like the sword itself isn't like, well, I guess you can say the sword itself was strong, but it was more so like Gohan drew his potential out because of pulling out the sword, rather than him going to fight Buu with the fucking big ass sword.
Let me give you an example of something and tell me what you think about it, because I think it's not from the same story, and it may not be the exact same case, but it may give us some light on like how you see it. So in Seven Deadly Sins, there's a character named King Arthur, and the entire storyline, he had some Latin power that wasn't revealed or that wasn't coming out. And towards the end, an individual guided him towards this legendary sword. The case was with the legendary sword that all the previous warriors who were rulers or kings or just great warriors, but they were all human. They all died and had their blood spilled on the sword. And this was a transfer of their soul. In essence, the soul meaning their fighting capabilities. Their stance, how they move their blades, all that. Action. Thousands of warriors have done this with that blade. King Arthur grabs the blade, the Excalibur, and that's what it represents. He immediately begins to fight Meliodas and other characters. These are individuals that are at the top of this series in terms of power. Rivaling Orochi and stuff like that in this series. It would be as if like if Bang fought Orochi, and then all of a sudden Bang is fighting Orochi foot to foot on par. That's kind of what it was, and there were multiple of Orochis. Would you be okay with that?
No.
I think if it was out of nowhere, then no. But if it's justified in terms of how it's set up, so like to compare to another series, it's like Hunter x Hunter, where Gon eventually fights Neferpito, and like when he goes all out, it's literally like it's justified by him going, okay, this is everything I have, you know. So there are ways to justify like sudden power boosts, but it's not something everyone can pull off.
Yeah, I agree with Matt.
So, you think, I